everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we are going to discuss how to read history effectively for UPSC Prelims 2026. So, we'll be discussing initially the book list. During the book list discussion, we'll be discussing what are the must-read NCERT books along with the chapters we'll be discussing. Then the textbooks we can refer for this UPSC preliminary examination. Then we will look into the question paper analysis of 2025 UPSC Prelims examination. We will also look at the pattern of the history which has been asked in the last 12 years in the UPSC Prelims examination, and what is the trend change which has been happening in the recent years, and what strategy you can adopt for 2026 examination. So first, going into the book list. So first we will discuss what are the must read NCERTs which you need to necessarily refer for UPSC Prelims 2026. So the 6th standard NCERT book, Exploring Society, India and Beyond. In this particular book, you need to read the theme B. So in the theme B, you can read the chapters 4, 5 and 6 for covering the history segment. Then coming to the 7th standard NCERT, Exploring Society, India and Beyond. Here again you can read the theme B, chapter number 4, chapter number 5, chapter 6, chapter 7. Then coming to the 8th standard NCERT, Exploring Society, India and Beyond. Here in the theme B, here the chapter number 2, 3 and 4 can be covered for history segment. Now coming to the 9th standard NCERT, that is the India and the Contemporary World one. In this particular NCERT, you don't need to read the complete book. You need to selectively read the chapter number 4 and 5 on livelihood, economics and society. Only this alone is relevant for preliminary examination. Now coming to the 10th standard NCERT, India and the Contemporary World 2. In this particular NCERT, you can read the Nationalism in India chapter initially. Then you can read the last chapter, that is Print, Culture and Modern World. After reading these two chapters, you can give some coverage for the industrialization chapter. Because here you can get some basics of especially the livelihood, economics and society. Some preliminary questions can be asked from these chapters. Then coming to the 11th standard NCERT, this book is mostly relevant for your mains examination and not for preliminary examination. So you can skip this 11th standard NCERT for preliminary examination. Now coming to the 12th standard NCERT, here themes in Indian history part 1. In this particular book, you need to read the 4 chapters. So these 4 chapters are relevant for your ancient India segment. Then coming to the themes in Indian history part 2, here you can read theme 5, theme 6, theme 7, theme 8. So in this, give maximum importance to Bhakti and Sufi traditions and Vijayanagara Empire, because questions are frequently asked in medieval India from these 2 chapters only. So after reading this part 2 book, you can come to the themes in Indian history part 3 book in 12th standard. So here you can read the theme 9, 10th, 11th and 12th for the modern Indian history. So after reading all these new NCERT versions, you need to cover the old NCERTs as well, because it is these old NCERTs which will give additional facts and concept clarity, especially the modern Indian history that is written by Bipin Chandra. This is one of the best book. It is not only useful for preliminary examination as well as for mains examination. So after reading the modern India book first, if you have additional time, then only I will be suggesting you to look at ancient India and medieval India. These books are available in Amazon. You can directly order these 3 books and you can selectively read, especially ancient and medieval India, but modern India you need to fully read it. Now coming to the textbook. So there are some textbooks you need to read, but textbooks are not necessary for ancient and medieval India. Only for modern India you need to cover textbooks, because that is what is more relevant for your mains examination as well. But when it comes to preliminary examination, I will be suggesting you to go through Spectrum book publication, A Brief History of Modern India. Suppose if you are finding that book as bit difficult, or you are not getting concept clarity, then I will be suggesting you to look at India's Struggle for Independence. This book will be mostly written for mains examination, with some facts will be given. You will get good concept clarity in this particular book. So now we'll look at the question paper analysis of UPSC 2025, this year preliminary examination, especially the history segment. So we'll be looking at some of the ancient, medieval and modern Indian history questions. So who among the following rulers in ancient India, the titles were given? So it is a pure factual question. If you would have covered the basic NCERTs as I suggested, you will be easily answering this particular question. This question is also picked directly from your new NCERTs only, students. That's why I'm telling to my students, Please kindly go back to these basic NCRTs, have a ready-made notes of these NCRTs, and try to revise minimum 2 to 3 times, because these are directly given in the book and they are asked in a purely in a factual manner. You can answer it in a few fraction of seconds. Then coming to the third NCRT, that is a third question with reference to ancient India. Consider the following pairs. If you look at this Avanti, Kosala, these are repetitively they are asking from previous year questions only. What you have to do is, while reading the previous year questions, you need to cover from 1979 to 2025. In that, try to cover the ancient history questions at one go. While reading the ancient history questions, what you have to do is you have to do some background analysis and value addition. Suppose because this particular Avanti Kosala has been asked multiple times in the previous year questions in the past, you need to add some facts now. What are the rivers? What city it is located? If you could do some ground analysis and value addition, you can answer this particular question as well. Now coming to this fourth question, Ashokan inscriptions. Again, this is picked from old NCRT directly. So now coming to the fifth question. Who among the following led a successful military campaign against the kingdom of Sri Vijaya and the Malay Peninsula? So this is also an easy question if you would be knowing the basics of, like, you know the importance of the Chera Chola Pandya kingdom from South India. So it's related to Chola dynasty. What I will be suggesting is, whenever you are reading ancient India, you have to give maximum importance to this Chola dynasty, because lot of times questions has been asked from this particular dynasty only. Now coming to the sixth question, irrigation device called Argata. This is picked from your medieval India segment, and that too it is a direct NCRT question, and that too new NCRT question only. That is from the new NCRT book only. This particular question has been asked. You need to read the themes in Indian history part 2, where this particular fact is directly available. Now coming to the seventh question, consider the following fruits: papaya, pineapple, guava. Again, this is also a medieval India question, and this particular question is also picked up from your themes in Indian history part 2, 12th standard NCRT, new NCRT only. Now coming to the eighth question, this is a question related to Rajaram Mohan Rai. So they have asked a question related to personalities, and that too this is related to socio-religious reform movement of modern India. Now, ninth question, they have again asked from the famous movement non-cooperation program, which is very important. And again, one more question on non-cooperation movement, basic fact only they have asked it. And this particular question they have asked is, sedition has become my religion was the famous statement given by Gandhiji at the time of. So, what you have to do is that, students, whenever you are reading modern India question, you need to necessarily cover the Gandhian movements and Gandhian philosophies, where repetitively they have been asking questions. So, who provided legal defense to the people arrested in Chauri Chara incident? Again, these some questions they have picked from personality segment of modern India. So, subsequent to which of the following events, Gandhiji consistently opposed untouchability, decided to upliftment of origins? Again, question related to Gandhiji and Gandhijian movements. And who among the following was the founder of self-respect movement? This is a easy question, especially students who are coming from Tamil Nadu, they will be answering it easily. For other students as well, this particular fact is available in your basic NCRT only. So what I will be suggesting is, as part of this discussion, we can easily get to know there are 5 questions which are asked from the ancient Indian segment, and 2 questions which are asked from medieval India, and 7 questions from modern India out of the 14 questions. So maximum weightage is for modern India. So first try to cover modern India, then move on to ancient India, and finally you can come to medieval India. This is the order of priority I will be suggesting to my students who are preparing for UPSC Prelims 2026. And even if you look at the trend analysis in the last 10 years from 2015 to 25, the maximum number of questions revolves around 15 questions that has been asked in 2017. So if you look at the minimum number of questions from history segment, that is the 11 questions, and that has been asked in 2020. Otherwise, if you look at the last 3 years, there have been consistently minimum 14 questions are picked from this that is history segment. That's what has been asked in this year as well. So in 14 questions, as I said already, give maximum weightage to modern, ancient, then finally come to medieval India. So even if you look at the trend analysis of ancient, medieval and modern in the last few years in the UPSC preliminary examination, as I said already, maximum weightage has to be given for modern India, then you can move to ancient India. Finally, only you have to come to that is the medieval Indian segment. So topic wise distribution, that is the ancient Indian questions, in which few chapters are what kind of themes they are asking, means especially on the political timelines. What I will be suggesting is, have a like notes, ready-made notes of all the timelines of the, especially the political history of ancient India. Look at the art and architectural segments, and the especially focus on the agrarian kingdoms and systems and political structures where questions have been asked from ancient India. And with respect to medieval India, again you can focus on especially the timeline of the dynasties and the administrative policies of medieval India and agrarian policies also. Coming to modern India, this year they have asked some questions on Gandhian Peace Prize, that is related to current affairs segment, related which had taking inspiration from modern India, and most of the questions has been from freedom struggle as well. So, what are the strategy you need to adopt, especially if you are preparing for UPSC Prelims 2026? What chapters you should give maximum weightage? In ancient India, I will be advising give maximum weightage to Indus Valley Civilization, Buddhism, Jainism chapter, which is where most of the questions has been asked. But not only you need to read NCRTs, you need to take the help of especially previous year questions from 1979 to 2025. For those of the students who need this question bank, you can join our Telegram group where we have already shared the link of these PYQs from 1979 to 2025. And with respect to medieval India, you can cover Mughal architecture and various important battles. And coming to modern India, start from 1857, give maximum weightage to the personalities Gandhi, Nehru, and then Ambedkar, and even Sardar Vallabhai Patel. So even while covering the Government of India Act, start from 1861, 1892, 1909, 1919, 1935. Please take a notes of these various acts where questions have been repeatedly asked in the past. And give maximum weightage to Gandhian movements, Satyagraha movement, non-cooperation, civil disobedience, and Quit India movement. In this manner, if you are preparing for history segment, history will look very easy, and you can crack the 14 questions which has been asked in the UPSC preliminary examination. Thank you, students.